Well, I'm glad you touched up on the whole gym scene, because I do have a question in regards to that. Because you come across as a very physical player, you surely must have balanced the gym work with the training. So how exactly did you manage to balance, the gym and training at the same time?
All I tried to do was try to, even though I didn't have much, I just tried to say it, reduce the body fat and be actually work on my speed. So I just needed to work on my low body. So obviously I had the surgery with my knee, so I needed to strengthen my leg and also work on my abs, so I could be much faster. And I've got two small things about this is the player in the team never thought I was fast until we played against Morton. The game we lost against Morton, they didn't know I was fast before that. And they say, oh, we didn't know you were that fast. I said, because usually I don't need to sprint. You asked me to stay in the box, so I'm in the box. I don't need to sprint. And they say, okay, so the fastest player in the team now, it's I forgot his name. Playing for Ibs now. Help me, please.
Playing for Hibs, Martin Boyle.
Yeah, Martin Boyle was the fastest player, and then after him was me.
Oh wow!
Which when we first arrived, they say I was one towards the last, but because they never saw me sprint.
Was his talent quite glaring at the time?
He was a good player, but not like you could see, and he had potential. You see how fast he was, but he wasn't using it in the right way. And I think moving him to Hibernian was the best thing he's done. And now they help him to use his speed and not just be a chicken with no head, but just actually know how to use his speed and be the profit of the team. And now, honestly, look the players and he became.
Another teammate I would like to ask you about was Gavin Ray. How did it feel to play alongside a guy like him? I'd like to pick your brains on, because this was a guy that played at a very, very high level, very much affiliated with Dundee, and he of course was the captain for the championship winning campaign.
You could feel like his aura on the pitch when he was there.
Yeah.
When players start to panic, like the last game, players start to panic, he'll be the one just calm everybody down, guys, just relax, let's play. It's like you're playing with your father. I was scared of him. Despite he was very respectable, very nice guy. When he's looking at you angry, you're just like, oh, okay. And that's why I feel like so much respect over the guy. Yeah. It's not going to be amazing, but it's not going to be bad. It's going to be always the same. So that's kind of players and you need in your team. It's just always going to be a good performance. Not an amazing one, not a bad one. The performance and you need in the full season. You've got a player like him, you're going to achieve something.
Yeah, very consistent performer.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a couple of youngsters coming through into the scene, Cammy Kerr and Craig Whiten. Craig Whiten at this point, there was a lot of hype about him in the media. Could you see that there was something with these two that could spur them on?
I don't know. The only thing I think with him is, with Whiten, is the club should have kept him longer because he left too early. He left and he didn't leave. He left for a big club. And because he left for a big club, the expectation people were waiting was just too much for him. He's a good player, but he needed to develop. And Dundee was the best place because he was at home, so people knew him, they knew what he was capable of. So even if sometimes he had an off day, we know that the player he is, and he's learning from that. But when you play for a team like Hearts, you have to deliver. Doesn't matter, you need to deliver. Good day, bad day, we don't care. You need to deliver. But when you're a young boy, it's too much pressure. And I think if he would have stayed in Dundee 3 more years, he would have been able to develop. And now he's becoming a key player because he would have started so young, becoming a key player. And then going somewhere else, he wouldn't be surprised. But the thing is, the question is, you need to ask, why I think he's done so well for Hearts when he was Hearts for the last few months, but they still let him go.
Yeah.
Why? You understand?
Yeah,
So
it's
there's
sensible.
something sometimes in the scene that we can't understand, we don't see because we are not there. But it's weird because when I could see from him play, I could see goals. He was scoring like, I think he scored a brace, and he was scoring like regularly. And then I saw him, he's going to Dunfermline, and I said, how can they ask him to, why did he go?
But do you still follow the club's results?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I follow every team that I played for.
Well, I was going to get off to the fact that 3 of your former teams on the same promotion push. You're kind of obviously split on who to root for, just want them all to do well, I suppose.
There's Hamilton fans contacted me and asked me to send a video for the players to show them I'm with them and for the fans and everything. And I said, I can't do that. I can't, because I play for Hamilton, yeah, but I also play for Dundee and I play for Raith Rovers. So I can't do that. I had a great time in 3 clubs and I had 3 different relationships with those 3 clubs, and I can't do that. I wish the best team won, you know.
Dundee making the playoff final. At the time of this recording, Dundee have just managed to see off Raith Rovers over the 2 legs of the playoff semi-final. In your opinion, do you think Dundee have got what it takes to get over the finishing line and push over Kilmarnock to win promotion?
I think every teams on their day can win, but every players need to give their all. You know, it's football. Tomorrow you play against Rangers and you can win, even though they never lost a full season. You know, it's just the day who turn up, you or your brother. You know, if you turn up and you're ready to give everything, and your teammates are ready to give everything, anybody can beat anybody. But if you don't turn up, well,
hypothetically, let's say Dundee do go up, Hearts are up. This is Raith Rovers' first season back in the Championship since promotion from League One last season. Would you consider them favourites then for a promotion push next season?
No. Why would I? It's football. I think the people who like to give their favourite, no, it's football. You don't know. You know, they can have a bad start and then come back from a bad start. Like Dundee had a really bad start. And then they managed to, I think they finished second, yeah? So, and I would never thought that they would finish second with the start of the season they had. And they managed to come back. It's football, you know? And especially in Championship, it's difficult. You play against part-time team, which play against players who are so hungry and want to be in a full-time team. They will give everything. So that's why people was criticizing Dundee and Hearts to lose against part-time team. But it's so hard to play against those teams. It's very, very hard. And especially the pressure and the fans, the clubs and the media put on those players because they expect them to win easy against those part-time team. It's just too much. And sometimes it's hard to just handle it. You know, and the fans, all they need to put in their head is, we don't care about the way you play. We don't care about the way, but you need to win. That's all we expect you. We need to win. And if you don't win, we don't care. Get promoted. That's all we expect you. We are Dundee, and we should be playing Premiership. So I don't care how you're going to manage to do that. Get in Premiership. But the thing is, Raith Rovers will say the same thing. Hearts is the same thing. And you see, there's a lot of Hearts fans who are not happy about the way they played. But Hearts is in Premiership next season, so the job's done. Doesn't matter the way you manage to go up. You just need to go up.
The part of your career where you signed for Raith Rovers, I think you've went on record as saying that when you're at Raith Rovers, it was the fittest you'd ever felt. So surely this spell must have been up there with one of the best in your career. I mean, after all, I think you had it on an individual note. You had a very good season, and ultimately it was the launch pad that sent you back into the Premiership to sign for Hamilton Academical. Yeah,
I was very fit. Once again, I was in the gym all the time. I think I had something like 8% body fat or 7%. I was very fit. I was physically fit. I wasn't fit right here, and maybe that's why I was fit right, because I was trying to forget everything I had in my head to compensate by being fit physically. And I felt yes, physically very, very good. And unfortunately, I think I had like a couple injury who made me lose the the target or the way I was playing or performing. But yeah, I still done enough to manage to go back in Premiership.
Were you still balancing this gym and training most days?
I was training every day. There was a gym as well when I was in Raith. So, like I said, before training session, we'll be in the gym. After training session, sometimes we spend time in the gym. Obviously, it wasn't too much because you don't want to get big. It's just like manage to find the right balance to feel good, to not get injured. And that's what we've done, yeah. And that's what I've done.
Fair to say that the highlight of your Raith Rovers career was the 9th of February 2015. You scored the winning goal at Ibrox to knock Rangers out of the Scottish Cup. Raith Rovers hadn't won there since 1959, so it was a monumental result on the day. If memory serves correct, it was the Ryan Conroy that scored the first. And then you managed to... Yeah.
And then I scored the second. It was quite a shamble. But like I said before, the ball was running on the line and I saw it and I just sprinted to it and I would have put everybody into the net that day. The ball, the defender, the goalkeeper, my own teammate, everybody would have been on the way that day, would have finished on the net.
Now, just to compare this for a second, I might be totally blown away because it might sound a bit stupid, but if we look at the goal you scored against Arsenal and then the goal against Rangers, is there comparisons to be made there, just in the sense of it's a giant killing that you can put your name on it?
No, the thing is, when you score a goal, you score a goal. You don't think about like the immensity of the goal or anything. Mm-hmm. You just score a goal. You're happy you scored. You're happy the team win. It's after when you think, oh, okay, we just beat Arsenal. We actually just beat Arsenal. It's a big team. We actually just beat Rangers. So it's not some. And the thing is, it was my first goal in England for league. So it was my first goal in league. It's something special for me. It was, I think, my first start as well, or second start maybe. It was something big as well. So no, I can't really compare the way I was feeling after the game. Towards the game, I feel the same in any goal.
Yeah, I had a feeling the answer was going to be like that. I just had to ask because I wanted to see the kind of gratitude that was there because again, Raith Rovers beating Rangers even now is quite a big concept, especially at Ibrox. And at the time, I can remember that being such a big result, especially being in a cup game too. Because I think Raith did all right against Rangers that season in the league. I think Raith kind of held their own. It was a very difficult season, and I think you would have scored at Easter Road as well and got a result there. Raith didn't finish in the playoffs that season, but they still showed that they could hold their own. It was such a very exciting season with so many bigger fish.
That the problem is with that season is we played so well, we played so good games. We beat big teams, but we were not consistent. Mm-hmm. We could beat Rangers, Ibrox, and the week after, you go and lose a Queen of the South. Yeah. And you see, like, what happened there? You don't, just because we are a good team. And honestly, from the back to the front, we are a very good team. We have a lot of young players with not too much experience. And that's why I think killed us. We are a good player. And look, they showed that most of the young players were there. Now they are big players. But at the time, it wasn't that. But honestly, I don't think we played against any team that season who actually came and said it was easy against us. We gave the game to everybody. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we didn't score when we should have, when we were on top, or sometimes a mistake would have just caused the game, things like that.